I recently attended the Australian Childcare Alliance Inner Circle event with childcare providers from across New South Wales. The childcare providers I heard from expressed many of those same fears about wrongdoing and predators working in centres, and they shared their anxiety and concerns for a regulatory system that is flawed and simply not working. I heard from providers that the assessment against the national quality ratings conducted and overseen by the New South Wales Department of Education do not catch bad providers. Instead, they reward those centres that prioritise paperwork rather than those delivering quality care and education. Many providers were frustrated that there is no meaningful relationship with the regulator for ongoing and discussion and advice around safety and best practice. In New South Wales, quality assessment ratings for early childhood education and outside of school hours care are only conducted every 4 years for a provider. One centre told those present at the Inner Circle event that the assessor only comes every 4 years and, last time, spent just 5 minutes in the actual centre observing the education and care for children. They did spend hours reviewing paperwork off-site. But even when reviewing this paperwork off-site, the assessor only reviewed a sample of working with children checks for those staff members that were working that day at the childcare centre. They did not review the WWC for every staff member. One centre provider also informed me that the assessors don't need to have qualifications or a background in early learning and childcare. Some come from completely unrelated fields and professional backgrounds. Since the 2018 changes to the national quality standards, there has been a convergence of providers receiving a middle rating. This makes the rating not fit for the purpose of comparing the quality of the majority of services available in the community. Since 2018, the middle band of meeting the NQS has expanded from 37% of services to 66% of services, with the proportion of working towards services falling from 30% to 12%, as exceeding services have fallen from 33% to 22%. Despite these assessments revealing high compliance against the national quality standards, the Department of Education and the Federal Minister for Education have publicly shared their concerns that some 45% of children were not developmentally on track when starting school. The problem with the assessments appears to be the obsession of paperwork over the actual quality of learning and care. Smaller providers are hit hardest. While large providers can use scale to perfect paperwork and systems, small family operators focus their resources on children, not forms, and are punished for it. I have also heard of providers call for industrial relations reform to allow closer monitoring staff when genuine safety concerns exist. Above all, providers have told me they want to put their children's rights and well-being first. Outside of school hours care, or OOSH as it is commonly referred to, falls under the same regulations and faces many of the same problems. But worse, the regulatory framework, designed largely around long day care models for pre-age school children, does not reflect the part-time structure of OOSH or its integration with the school grounds. The P&C Federation has warned that research it has produced shows that of the 180 OOSH services they studied, quality, that being child-focused, flexible, community-given care, is largely overlooked in the ratings instead of box-ticking paperwork compliance. Services are even under pressure to buy pre-packaged posters and kits that match regulatory language, not because they benefit children, but because they can help satisfy the paperwork requirement and are pre-labelled with the exact standards and terminology to satisfy the regulatory authority as part of the assessment and ratings. The government has made announcements today of changes in the regulation of childcare, and many of those changes are welcome, including stricter enforcement standards, as well as infringement notices for failing centres. But there is so much more that needs to be done in how we assess the quality of childcare that is provided, including in after-school care, and unfortunately those reforms were not included today, and I hope they will be in the future. Thank you.